If you're considering getting your kid their very first cell phone or looking for ways to control their screen time, yep. CNET's editorial director, Dan Ackerman, is here to help. Dan, good morning. Thank you for being here. This is a big issue in a lot of households, huge. And it starts not with screen time, but with, can you trust your child with a very expensive piece of machinery?
I mean, that's true, and phones are expensive, and that's why for your first phone, whether it's at 10 or 11 or even a little older, you can get them a used phone, a hand-me-down. iPhone has a SE model that's a little bit less expensive.
A flip phone.
A flip phone. May get them a little ostracized from their friend group, but, still a legit choice. Samsung makes some really inexpensive A-series phones. So there are choices that are $200 to $400, not $1,000. $1,200.
So if you go the smartphone route, very quickly you will see, most likely, your child kind of captured by one app or another.
Right.
TikTok, Instagram, whatever it is, and they're into it. How can you control that as a parent, short of taking the phone and having fights every night?
The nice thing is there's a ton of granularity in how you can control your kid's phone, frankly, your own phone, too. You just go into settings, you go into screen time, or you can search for parental controls. And then if your kid's account you set up as a kid account and you're the parent, then you can say, you can download these apps, not these apps. You can spend this much time on this app. You can do it from this time to this time. I have to sign off on app downloads or anything else. You can get as tight or as loose as you want to be, and it depends on what level of trust you're building up over time. And maybe that changes, from 1 month to the next or from 1 year to the next.
I just did it this week with my almost 13-year-old, and I got to say, it sounds complicated. It's actually really simple, and it is so empowering. And it's so nice to not have to chase the phone itself. You can literally just sit there in your chair and hit a button that says downtime on, and his phone will shut down.
You're offline. You're online. You're off. Yeah.
But I think that's important. You know, when my kids were coming up, I was very resistant to a cell phone, because I just didn't want them to have the access. And then I started thinking about the safety of it, and that totally changed me around. Do you think that there's a certain age that kids should have a cell phone?
That's 100% it. In my parent group, people I talk to, they've all kind of said that maybe 10 or 11-ish is the right age, not because they need a phone, because that's the age where maybe they're going to walk to school by themselves or self-dismiss a couple of days, and then by using the Find My Phone or the Android version of phone tracking, you can see where they are. And if there's an emergency or problem, they can get in touch with you. You can get in touch with them. So that 5th grade, 6th grade, 10 or 11 seems to be where that's starting now, but mostly for the tracking, less for because I need to have a phone.
Yep.
For parents who may be a little anxious about getting a phone, or the cost of the phone is bothering them, tell us about Gizmo.
That's something I see a bunch of kids have, and it's a smartwatch. It's a cellular smartwatch, so it has, internet connectivity, and you can make and receive calls from it. It's about $200. It's not that expensive, but limited. You can set up who can make a call from it, who can receive a call, so only 1 or 2 numbers. They can't just go and use it like a regular phone. And it looks like a modern smartwatch, so it's not going to look weird on them. It looks almost like an Apple Watch.
So we have one kid, same age as my older son, whose family's decided it's a flip phone or nothing. You hear about that? I mean, is that an option?
That was my first phone.
Yeah.
There's something kind of cool about a flip phone, and a lot of people who are super into security like them because they're almost unhackable. I don't know how great a flip phone is going to go over with the friend group, and that's something that's kind of important for kids. I get that, but there's also a certain charm to it.
Yeah.
But safety, you can still call them, and they can still call you. I understand this is a topic that's personal to you, Dan, because you just went through it with your own son. Number one, how old is he?
Right, he's 10 now. So
10.
for his 10th birthday, when he was starting the 5th grade, I said, okay, you can walk home from school 1 day a week. So
There's your son
therefore,
on TV, by
you
the way,
need the phone right there.
How long was he asking for the phone?
Oh, my gosh. Well, listen, if you're my kid, you're probably going to have exposure to a lot of technology.
He's seeing Dad with all the cool tech.
Okay. I see him holding the phone in that picture, and he turned to the camera. How many times did you have to say his name before he looked up?
About 7. I'm going to say about 7.
So how did you finally decide you were going to let him have it at 10?
Because he had been using a hand-me-down kind of in the house just on Wi-Fi and seemed responsible with it. And then I said, walking home from school a couple days a week, I want to be able to keep track of where you are. Let's try it out as an experiment, put a bulletproof case on it. So far, it's worked out pretty well. Hasn't lost it, hasn't broken it. That's surprising, but very pleasing.
My son hasn't lost it or broken it either. They're better with it.
They value them.
Dan Ackerman,
really important.
we appreciate you. Thank you so much.